This project enables motion capture equipment to manipulate a virtual Taiwanese hand puppet in real time through a human body and make the virtual Taiwanese hand puppet move in the traditional manner. We wrote a puppetry system that converts the VRM of human skeletons to the bone frame of the hand. 1. Use motion capture equipment to capture the absolute coordinates of each joint of the human skeleton without changing the motion capture program or the VRM of the human skeleton structure. 2. Appoint the absolute coordinates of the human skeleton joints onto a temporary virtual puppet. Use an algorithm to convert the absolute coordinates of the head, torso, arms, and legs, and then convert the joint coordinates to coordinates that fit the joints of a Taiwanese hand puppet. 3. Appoint the new joint coordinates to the frame of a Taiwanese hand puppet. The index finger can only bend slightly toward the back of the hand, the head of the puppet can only be raised slightly. Thus, the range of rotation around the x-axis is limited to between 0 and 50 degrees. The index finger cannot rotate around the z-axis, so the head of the puppet cannot be turned. Thus, the rotation around the y-axis is limited to 0 degrees. The index finger can rotate around the z-axis to turn the head of the puppet left and right. However, because the rotation angle of the index finger is very small, the range of rotation around the z-axis is limited to between 30 and 30 degrees. When the performer rotates his or her torso, the entire puppet will turn. When the performer shifts, the entire puppet will also shift. The performer can bend over to make the puppet bend over. As the puppet's arm cannot bend with the performer's arm, there are no joint structure limitations for the puppet's elbow. Under the framework structure of the human inverse kinematics, dot hand is the control point vector 3, x, y, z of the puppet's wrist. This is used to limit the displacement of dot hand to fit the arm movements of a puppet. As the puppet's knees and ankles cannot bend with the performer's knees and ankles, there are no joint structure limitations for the puppet's legs. Limiting puppet legs from swinging behind body and height to which legs are raised, to prevent the legs from being lifted too high. As the walking and kicking motions of Taiwanese hand puppets require the aid of the puppeteer's other hand to swing forward. Taking the right leg as an example, VR leg is the rotation angle vector 3, x, y, z, of the leg. Negative values indicate the front of the puppet. This formula restricts the rotation angle along the x-axis to be within the range of 0 to 50 degrees, preventing the puppet's legs from rotating backward when above 0 degrees and limiting the height at which the puppet can lift its legs when below 50 degrees.
哪会阁变成这款的模样啊？有一个五同款，迄仙灵提点，光明掌上升，到即仔还未得到中原，这是要如何啊？莫非仙灵甲我骗哦？啊，莫非仙灵的意思是我的光明比强上？所以我要变做我的模样是无？那呢，我知